Hi, I'm Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams, and I'm joined by my colleagues in government, Councilman Charles Barron.
Don't get my wife in trouble.
Assemblyman Charles Barron, Jerry Hopkins, some of our community activists from the Trinidad and Tobago community, Bishop Steve Belgrove, Maureen Sardina, Derek Noel, Dr. Roy Hastings, who will also be joining us in a moment as well. And we're really joined here today by the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Trinidad and Tobago Overseas Coalition, acronym TTOC, to launch a comprehensive supply relief drive for victims impacted by the floods that has really ravaged Trinidad and Tobago. The country has been gripped with heavy rainflow, which hit the Caribbean islands during the weekend of Friday, October 19th. Many people have not noticed the impact that this has really hit hard the Trinidad and Tobago community, both in the island and as well as here in Brooklyn. Over 100,000 people have had their homes submerged under muddy, brown, and dirty water flows. The islands were also hit by 2 earthquakes, 5.8 on the Richter scale. Many of the islanders are sleeping in the street or have had to climb to their rooftops to really escape the heavy flood waters. Over 50,000 Brooklyn residents were born in Trinidad and Tobago, constituting a significant portion of the Caribbean American community in the borough. We believe that this is the Port-au-Prince of America in our eyes. We are a diverse borough, and our immigrant community must give back, and they are coming forward and stepping forward, giving back, helping individuals in their homeland. The drive that we are putting together, we are launching today, will run from Tuesday, October 30th to Wednesday, November 7th, and we're looking to provide some of the basic supplies to the residents there. It would include canned and other expired, non-perishable food, blankets, linens, portable and inflatable mattresses, which will go a long way for those who don't have a current home to sleep in, clothing items, including underwear and outerwear for women, shoes and slippers, personal items, diapers, school supplies, mops and brooms, flashlight and batteries, portable solar power lights, and other over-the-counter medical supplies. We created several drop-off locations to assist residents who would like to give in some way, some significant way, to the residents of Trinidad and Tobago. Brooklyn Borough Hall, of course, is a drop-off location. 204 Parkside Avenue is another drop-off location. Allen's Bakery, 1109 Nostrand Avenue, Cole Purpose Restaurant, Expressions in Ceramics, and 770 Fulton Street in 77 Fulton
Street, yeah, that's Second Atlantic.
Okay, you could announce that, okay?
Okay, all right, got you, sorry.
11 Roosevelt Avenue, Greensland, Long Island is another additional place. And so our call today is really to match the flood of water with flood of compassion and flood of giving. Let's flood the island with the resources they need to allow them to recover. As we look at the storm surge throughout the entire country, in our neighboring locations, we need to be here. Excuse me. We need to be here to show our support, and that is what we're doing today. And the goal is to really utilize our connections and connectivity to give the resources that are needed to help get Trinidad and Tobago back on its feet. And so we want to call on our various representatives that are here to also give the call for assistance. Thank you very much. To call for assistance during this difficult time of need for Trinidad and Tobago. You're going to lead the first to speak?
I would rather let somebody else. I'll wait for Joyce. She'll be
Okay.
here shortly.
So is Jerry going to be the first? Jerry Hopkins?
You can join us.
Okay.
Good morning to everyone. The lady who really conceived of this idea of doing this initiative in this manner is a bit delayed. Her name is Joyce Stewart. She is the president and founder of TTOC, Trinidad and Tobago Overseas Coalition. But we are united as a community in doing what we are doing here, and our Borough President is certainly meeting us where we wanted to be met to make sure that this happens. And all the elected officials who are here are doing that as well. And the sister here, were you introduced already?
No.
This sister here, Maureen Sadina, is one of the leaders of the TTOC. She's a member of TTOC and also one of the committee members responsible for making this happen, this initiative to reach out and help those in need in Trinidad and Tobago. Over 130,000 people were affected by this flood in various parts of the island. It's a torrential rainfall, unlike anything they have seen, as our Borough President mentioned, in over 50 years. And it's something that really requires all of us to do what we can. We are not collecting monies. We are collecting perishable goods, and the items were mentioned. And Ms. Sandina here has a detailed list that she's going to share with you eventually before it's all done here. And go over. We are Mr. Derek Noel, who's also on the committee. He was responsible. He's responsible when he gets here for giving us some more details about locations. But folks, we are happy that you, the media, is here, because until now, New York City hasn't really been aware of what has been happening to our neighbors in Trinidad and Tobago. And as the Borough President pointed out, very many of us here are from Trinidad and Tobago in this New York City, in Brooklyn, and New York City at large. And anything that happens to one country in the Caribbean happens to all of us in the Caribbean. So Caribbean Americans are appreciative of the support that our elected officials are given, and we look forward to you helping us to get the message, get the word out there that we have this initiative and that we are trying to help our brothers and sisters in Trinidad and Tobago as much as we can. Thank you, all of you who are here, elected officials and other community leaders, and you, the media, as well. We thank you.
Thank you, and we want to call on Bishop Steve Belgrove.
Good morning to each and every one of you. Today, we are making a special appeal to each and every one who can extend a hand to support the relief effort that's greatly needed in Trinidad and Tobago. And we thank our Borough President and all our elected officials that are here today. And as I stand here, I represent the clergy of Brooklyn, and we are making a special appeal to all the churches. The church is a place of love, a place of compassion, and each and every one who can lend the support. We heard today the information of the various drop-off points. Let us all bind together as we support this project. Swift Shipping is also one of the locations. They are 2018 Utica Avenue, and they have extended their facilities as a drop-off point where you can send your supplies. My church, His Majesty International Fellowship, 399 Rockaway Avenue. If you would like to send your supplies, we too are available, and we will forward the necessary items to the final location so that it will reach Trinidad. Our country, Trinidad and Tobago, needs each and every one of our support. Let's continue to bind together. Let's unite on this front and accomplish this purpose and this project. Let's save our country.
Thank you. Assemblyman Charles Barron.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I wanted to come to lend my support and say to the governor and to the mayor, you can't be selective on which countries you are going to support when they have a disaster. This should have been all over the news. It should have been taken up by my Black, Latino, and Asian caucus in the state assembly. 130,000 people are affected. We don't know how long it's going to be before there's a death. And this is why this is a crisis. This is an urgent matter. So, Governor, we need to hear from you. Mayor, we need to hear from you. Just like you prioritize other disaster areas, you visit them, you put goods on a plane and go and make sure those resources get there. Do the same thing for Trinidad and Tobago, because we are one people. And as a person of African ancestry, doesn't matter whether they drop me off in Trinidad or drop this off in the Americas or drop this off in South America, we are one people. And when one of us are in trouble, all of us are in trouble. So I wanted to lend my voice to this matter, to commend the Borough President for taking this position, but it's time for all of the electeds and all of those in higher office where there is resources to now focus on Trinidad and Tobago, just like you do other disaster areas.
Well said. Maureen Sardina.
Hi. Hi, good morning, and I would like
morning.
to thank you for having us. Okay. This conference was called by Trinidad and Tobago Overseas Coalition. It was founded by Joyce Stewart. She is presently living here in Brooklyn, and she'll be here shortly. Okay. My job today is to tell you what type of supplies we are looking for, but I think Mr. Adams did that eloquently just now. So there's no need for me to repeat some of these drop-off points. And at this point, I'm going to call back on Mr. Hopkins to tell you more about TTOC.
Just to let you know that I have a flyer here with all of the locations as well as the items that we are looking for. I also have a press statement that I would share with you, members of the media, and those of you here, community leaders and elected officials. But Mr. Dino asked me to say a little bit more about TTOC. TTOC has been around since 1974. It was commissioned by Sir Eric Williams, the godfather, the founding father of an independent Trinidad and Tobago. He commissioned it and asked Joyce Stewart, who is resident here in Brooklyn, to establish this organization to do exactly what we are asking you to do, to attend to needs such as this one, to help our sisters and brothers here who are immigrants with housing needs, immigration concerns, etc. And TTOC has been doing that over the years, not just for Trinidadians, but for all West Indians, folks from the Caribbean. I'm not from Trinidad, but I'm involved with TTOC. I'm from Grenada.
And what TTOC has done, we have, like, we will call it boots on the ground. So when these items are delivered to Trinidad, there are also Trinidad and Tobago members of TTOCs who will receive these items. Make sure they are taken into the districts that need them. Okay?
And they are working with specific NGOs that are recognized by the government of Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
So because we are very concerned, you know, quite often we have charitable activities such as this one, initiatives such as this one, but we're not sure that the goods will get to the intended folks, the victims, the ones who really need it. And this is what we have taken steps to ensure. That's why we have all folks on the ground in Trinidad and Tobago working with recognized, registered NGOs on the ground to ensure that these items that we are going to be collecting will be distributed to the folks most in need, regardless of political affiliation,
Exactly.
regardless of religious affiliation, regardless of ethnicity.
Okay. So we are looking for canned and non-perishable food, not expired. Blankets, linen, portable, inflatable mattresses, clothing items for children, adult, all sizes, shoes, slippers, medical supplies, flashlights, batteries, portable solar-powered lights and outlets, school supplies, cleaning detergents, disinfectants, along with clothing, clean clothing, new clothing. Okay, your drop-off points are going to be, like Mr. Adams said, 240 Parkside, Brooklyn, New York, Allen's Bakery, 1109 Nostrand Avenue, Culpeper Restaurant, 1082 Nostrand Avenue, Expressions in Ceramics, they are here today, 1151 Nostrand Avenue, 5502 Avenue, New York, Brooklyn. We also have a drop-off point in Long Island, Second Atlantic Corp at 770 Fulton Street has given us a drop-off date of Wednesday the 7th and Thursday the 8th.
And
in
we are-
Long Island is 11 Roosevelt Avenue, Greenlawn, New York. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we're also going to have a barrel to collect items right here at Borough Hall. And again, I want to say thank you to our Borough President. I mean, this happened just last weekend, and we did not really have much time to pull this together, but we made a call here, and everyone here cooperated with us to have this press conference, and the Borough President Richter to his friends, as we did to ours, and here we are making this call to action, an urgent one. Folks are homeless. Folks are without, they've lost everything in their homes. Some homes are inhabitable. There are over 15 shelters in Trinidad and Tobago now for the folks who are basically lost everything they owned. So although we haven't had fatalities as yet as a result of this, there are sick people and people who have gotten worse with the health condition because of the flood and waters and so on. And there may be fatalities. It's all over. But the important thing is attending to the needs of the folks, the health needs, the medical needs, clothing, housing, stoves, refrigerators. They have nothing. So we thank you again.
And we thank the Borough President. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Pia, you want to?
Good morning. I'm Pia Raymond, representing Creating Legacies, an organization which seeks to empower families, because when we have strong families, we have strong communities. And we know in Brooklyn, we're so largely populated by those of us from the Caribbean, and many of our families are extended and have people here in New York and in Trinidad. So we're really urging you at this time to make sure to donate goods that will be insured by TTOC to arrive to the people that are in need in Trinidad. I'm here with the president of Nostrand Avenue Merchants Association, of which I'm the vice president, and we have urged a number of businesses along Nostrand Avenue to be drop-off points where you can drop your supplies, including Expression and Ceramics, located at 1151 Nostrand Avenue at the corner of Rutland Road. So please urge your faith-based community, your families, your schools to come together. This is a time where we know that our media in other venues maybe does not tell our story. We thank you to those who are here today to make sure to publicize this, and it's up to all of us to tell our story and make sure that the message is sent globally of what our people need. So we're here as an organized force, and we invite all of you to join us in spreading and telling our story and supporting those of us who are in need at this time. So please donate to TTOC, Trinidad and Tobago Overseas Coalition, to make sure that our brothers and sisters in Trinidad are receiving the goods and supplies that they need for their survival. God bless you.
President, want to speak?
Thank you. My name is Colin Williams, and I saw firsthand what happened in Trinidad. The day before I left, I think it was the 23rd, I decided, saw the flood on television, and I drove towards the airport. The neighborhood I visited was called Greenville. When I drove to Greenville, it was almost like I compared to Ground Zero here at the World Trade Center. A gentleman I met on Facebook, friended during the conversation, was the resident who actually drove me into Greenville. And when I saw mattresses and people's entire home, then he took me into his room where I also have 3 daughters, and saw the rooms where his daughters was supposed to be sleeping. And he explained to me that he was not at home at the time. His wife had to take the children and stuck them in the ceiling. And when the water level got too high, took them off and had to walk through the streets when it was dark because they cut the electricity off. Now in Trinidad, the drainage are like probably 4 feet deep off street level. And to think of a woman having to carry 3 babies on her back with water level up to her neck to maybe quarter mile where another neighbor could help and assist. But what I saw in the faces of these people was something called faith, substance, and essence, I mean, they were in disaster, but they had hope. And what I decided to do, I can't save everyone, but I made a friendship with one individual that had his family, and I started making a movement. But when I heard about this now, with TTOC, I couldn't help but join in, and I thank the Borough President for making this public and the press that came out, because I was surprised that Trinidad and Tobago was not, again, we're not on the world map when it comes to these things that every one of us have been taken care of. This is all I have to say for now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions at this time? Great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for coming out.
I just wanted to emphasize the short time span that we have. This begins today and ends on the 7th of November. So if we could get the word out there that the drop-offs should be made in this short window of time, because we need to get it down there as soon as possible. So we're going to close this on November 7th. That's what I wanted to read. And I also want to recognize CACCI, the Caribbean American Chamber of Commerce and Industry. They are in support of this initiative. Thank you.
Thanks all. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if you want to do one-on-one with someone.
Yeah.
How are you? Come on.
Eric, good to see you. I want to give
Can we have a still picture with you?